Hey guys, it's your boy, Ballface8020, back again with another great commentary. Um, as you saw from the title, this is going to be another Black Pill related video, and I've gotten, good response from the last two videos, which were both Black Pill, so, it may be from a attracting viewer perspective, the Black Pill may be a winner, but unfortunately, um, this is going to be the last Black Pill one for probably for a while. Mainly because even though I do have some more Black Pill stuff that I want to touch on, this is the only thing that this is the only kind of this is the last really easy thing to talk about that I can just make a video without thinking about it. So there's going to be a bit of a break. So hopefully that doesn't cost me any of my new subscribers. Um, Before I go into the topic of this video, which is about the face versus height debate, I just want to give some of my own background with the black pill and the various black pill communities, just so you can understand where I'm coming from. And me, the first time that well, I guess let's just start at the beginning. I do not. I will admit um, that it has been quite some time, but I do not consider myself an incel. I think that even now at age 36, if I if I wanted to go out and get laid, I could. It almost certainly would be with somebody, a woman that I didn't find attractive, because I have pretty high standards, but I think I could do it. And it's not. I don't feel like I'm missing anything by not being able to do it. So, but I don't consider myself an incel. Not just because I think that I could go out and get laid if that's what I wanted, but I'm also just not part of the movement. I will admit that I have read incels.co for a period of about 2 weeks. I never participated myself. I just read it, because it was interesting to me, at least at first, but I stopped because there was nothing new. It's just the same kind of same old hate fest, and just it gets old fast, it gets repetitive fast. It just wasn't for me. Um, I do post on short cells, and so you might think that, oh, if you post on short cells, you're an incel or a short cell yourself. No, it's just that I'm I'm just interested in height. I'm really interested in human height, and that's the best place to discuss it. And I'll be honest, I'm interested in how women react to height. Um, Not that being short wouldn't be an issue either, but again, there's even the stuff on there, it's not all about height. And for me, it's when I'm there on short cells, you can see on my post, I'm still as ball face 8020. I'm usually speaking. I wouldn't really say I speak out against the misogyny there, because it would be a waste of keystrokes, but I certainly don't join in the circle jerk about it. Um, if you're interested, you can go and see my post for yourself and see what you think. Um, so yeah, that's my relation to the whole incel movement. Like, I don't consider myself part of it. First time I heard it, I think, was back in 2011. That was before it had become mainstream at all, and I didn't hear it again for years. And I remember hearing it, I think, in 2015 or 2016, um, where I think it was Ellen Pao, or one of those ex CEOs of one of those big companies, was saying, like, you have to make sure there's not incels working at your company. And I was thinking, like, making sure that guys who can't get laid are working at your company. What's going on here? What? I mean, it just seemed like such a mean thing to say, and I didn't understand at the time that what she meant. She didn't mean guys who couldn't get laid. She meant the incel ideology, which is kind of its own thing, because there's probably plenty of guys out there who can't get laid, but they're not all incels, even though technically they are. Um, so it can mean different things, and certainly now it has its own specific meaning. Yeah. So anyway, that's my background with of it. And but in this video, what I wanted to address was in the black pill community, we'll call it black pill, incel community, whatever. Let's just call it black pill because you can be black pill without being an incel. There's this debate. Yeah, I can get this a little bit better. Yeah, there's this debate about what's more important to women, you know, height or face, and it's a debate that goes around in circles. And the reason I wanted to make this video is because it doesn't need to. I mean, it's such a, there's such a straightforward answer to it, okay? Now, now let's just start right off the top. It's a bit of an apples and oranges thing. You can't just say height is more important or face is more important. That doesn't make sense. So it's not a simple answer in that sense. But I do have, you know, what I'm confident is a very accurate and simple explanation. Okay. In the normal area of height, okay, if you're a male in the United States, it could be different in Scandinavia or some other countries, but if you're a male in the United States, you're probably going to be between 5'8" and 6'2". That's the overwhelming majority of men are in that range. Now, in that range, face beats height. Okay, in that range, if you're a 5'8" guy, and it gets a little bit dicey at the extremes, but even if you're at 5'8" with like a great, like the example I like to use is a young Heath Ledger. You're 5'8" with the face of a young Heath Ledger, you will beat out a 6'2" guy who is unattractive, and you will probably beat out a 6'2" guy who's just normal looking. Okay, you know, like, and you might even beat out a 6'2" guy who is, you know, is actually even kind of good looking, because he's not on, he's a decent looking guy, but he's not on Heath Ledger's level. And that's a little bit dicier though. So so even then you're seeing heights having an influence, but those are both the extremes of the normal, the 5'8" and the 6'2". So, but even there, so you're in that range, yeah, height does beat it, and certainly that 5'8" with a great face, or 5'8" even with a normie face, probably beats out 6'2" with an ugly face. But the big exception for this would obviously be on Tinder, where height is extremely important, even more important than it is in the real world. At least, well, we'll talk more about that later, but at least at first, it's more important than what it is in the real world. Because if you're 5'8" on Tinder, full disclosure, I've never been on Tinder, I've just heard about it. At 5'8", you're not going to get your foot in the door, no matter what you look like. You know, because I mean, any girl, she's not going to care. She's going to see 5'8" and swipe left, no matter how good looking you are. But if that's not how it is in real life. Now, where height starts to make a huge difference is at the extremes. Okay, if you're 5'7" or below, even Heath Ledger, I don't want to say it's over, because like they say on the incel boards, because that's bullshit. But 5'7" or below, no matter how good your face is, you are going to be running into some serious headwinds where you're just going to be too short for a lot of girls, and they are not going to be attracted to you just based on your height. And similarly, not all of them, but you know, a lot. And similarly, at 6'4", and this is, you know, barefoot doctor's office 6'4", not, you know, what guys say is 6'4", but 6'4" or above, things are gonna be, or should be, I mean, as long as your face isn't a complete ogre, and even then, at 6'4" and above, that's gonna be a real advantage for you. In fact, to the point where if you're 6'4" or above, and you know, have wrists that I would say are at least 6.75 inches, which is not very big. That's what mine are. Okay, 6.75. I mean, ideally you'd like them bigger than that. So if that's your frame, if you're and even a normie face, just a pure normie face, or even a slow tier normie face, 6'4" and above, you can pretty much have any girl you want, assuming as long as, you're young and white. The and even if you're not, white, probably. I mean, 6'4" and above. Now, it probably didn't used to always be this way, but for some reason, over the last 10 years, Western women have height has become this amazing thing, and you don't need to take my word for it. Okay, you can just look at pictures or videos online of women will see a guy who's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", and the look on their face, it's just like, I don't want to be too graphic, but I mean, their shorts are soaked pretty much. They're just, it's just this look of lust and adoration, and that's something that a tall man can trigger that nobody else can. So I wouldn't say again, I don't want to go too far with being ugly. Like, maybe the example that I've used in the past is Howard Stern's face, but that might be a little too ugly. But just take an average looking guy, 6'7", with slight frame, but not too slight, but slight, like a basketball player. So a 6'7" guy, and then on the other hand, you show him a 6'1" Heath Ledger. Okay, the women on the street, not on, what they see on screen is different, but women on the street are going to just practically orgasm just by looking at the 6'7" normie. Okay, and come on, we've all seen it, guys. And they are not going to react to the Heath Ledger guy that way. Now, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean that's who they're going to want to date. Things can, dates and relationship is a different thing. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the raw physical attraction. And there's nothing that creates that raw animalistic physical attraction in women more than extreme height. Now, when you start getting over 7 feet, then it's probably too much of a good thing. But in that, I mean, from 6'4" to 6'10" range, for women, that's about as good as it gets. Now, women themselves will tell you that that's not true, but I think, us guys, we understand that women don't really know anything. They don't even, and they certainly don't understand their own emotions or what attracts them or anything. And I'm not trying to be a hater here. I'm just being realistic. So the main thing, and then, is height. So I guess, our conclusion is that at the extremes, height is more important than face. At pretty much any height, I don't want to say you need something in the face department, because again, even Howard Stern with his hideous face had an attractive wife before he was famous, because he was 6'5". But face can set you back. So at the extremes, 6'4" or above, height is greater than face. And like I said, a mediocre looking 6'4" guy or 6'5" guy wipes the floor with a really good looking 6'1" guy. But at the same time, a really good looking 5'8" guy wipes the floor with a mediocre looking 6'2" guy. So it's context dependent. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Talk to you next time.